So tariffs are here. Anyone who makes hardware is probably gonna be thinking a lot about how this works, because even if people do source some things from the US, a lot of those things are gonna use materials that come from other countries. So I think everybody's probably going and making some spreadsheets and trying to figure this stuff out. Now that we have the tariff numbers, I did some calculations, and China is going to have a 54% tariff. It's 34% on top of the 20% that was already there. Fortunately, this doesn't mean that my parts are all going to cost 54% more. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is that there was already 20 to 30% tariffs on a lot of this stuff, so it's more like closer to a 25-ish% increase rather than a full 50 to 60% increase. Second is that I'm doing the labor in the US, so that's not affected by tariffs. And third is that I'm actually in the process of moving some parts that were previously imported to the US. So input costs on those are a little bit higher, but the final cost isn't going to be bearing the full weight of the tariffs like it would be if I were getting these parts made in other countries. So all in all, for me, it looks like the actual price of my input costs of like each manufactured tune chine will probably go up by 10%, which is not disastrous, but really, since I'm still kind of figuring out if this business is profitable or not, could potentially ultimately be the difference between me actually being able to sustain myself with tune chine or not. I don't really know yet. It would be awesome to move more stuff into the US. The thing is that for some parts where I have investigated that in the past or was previously getting made in the US, the differences can be massive. Like the packaging, the cardboard box I used to get this made in the US, and it was 350% more expensive. The wood pieces, I used to get those made in the US, more than 200% more expensive. So if you know people who might make these parts in the US and think they could do better prices than that, let me know. I'd be totally open to that, but I'm just kind of still grappling with this stuff. I hope I don't have to raise the price of tune chine by 10%. And I also don't think that even for a fully American-made product that people would be willing to pay like $300 or more for a tune chine either. The main way that I could recoup the cost of these tariffs would be to spend less on marketing. Right now, I do a lot of Facebook and Instagram ads and they convert very well, but you could actually directly help this by just sharing tune chine stuff, telling your friends about it. Because the more tune chines I'm able to sell without spending money on Instagram and Facebook and other marketing channels, the better chance I have of turning this into a sustainable business where I can actually put lots of time and energy into this and pay my rent and all of that. So if you want to tell your friends about it, that does actually directly help me keep the price of tune chine the same. So give it some thought.